Welcome back to Revise and Resubmit,
where we like to, really kind of dive deep into a subject.
Yeah.
And this time we're looking at a very fascinating intersection, I think. And it all kind of stems around this year's Nobel Prizes.
Right.
And artificial intelligence.
And the question that we're posing is, did the Nobels throw AI like a celebratory coming out party?
Or was it more of a, kind of a cautionary tale about the future?
What do you think?
Well, I think it's really fascinating this year because it really highlighted the potential and sort of the anxieties about both.
Oh, absolutely.
About the technology.
Yeah, and we've got this incredible buzz around AI.
The Economist even called this AI's Nobel moment.
And with the physics and chemistry prizes being seen as its sort of grand debut.
And I thought it was interesting that even Goldman Sachs,
Yes.
a company known for hyping AI,
Right.
has become less optimistic.
Right, so to have it be recognized in such a big way by the Nobel Committee really makes you think, you know what this means going forward.
Okay, so that's the celebratory angle, but then you've got this almost ominous backdrop.
Yeah.
The Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to Nihon Hidankyo.
An organization representing survivors of the atomic bombings in Japan. And they're focused on eliminating nuclear weapons.
And that brings up some pretty unnerving parallels with AI, don't you think?
It does, and it's a sobering reminder.
That technology, in the wrong hands?
Can be devastating.
Yeah.
And it leads us to a really intriguing figure.
Geoffrey Hinton.
Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI.
And who just won the Nobel Prize in Physics.
Yeah.
But he's sounding the alarm.
The very technology that he helped create.
Yeah.
It's a little ironic.
It is, and it's not even just hypothetical risks he's worried about. He's specifically concerned about AI becoming so intelligent that it surpasses human control and could lead to the launching of nuclear attacks.
Like, that's pretty heavy stuff.
That's some, sci-fi thriller kind of stuff.
It is.
But, he's not the first Nobel laureate to kind of grapple with this dark side of his discoveries.
Oh, are you thinking of Frederick Joliot?
Yeah.
Who won the Nobel Prize in chemistry for creating radioactive atoms, which was a huge breakthrough, but later became an advocate against their use in warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's pretty crazy when you kind of
think about that.
Yeah.
And then we have Demis Hassabis,
Who just won the Nobel Prize in chemistry.
And for work that could revolutionize medicine.
His work is so fascinating because it highlights the good that AI can do. But at the same time, he's urging us to treat its risk with the same urgency as we treat climate change. And that's where things get complicated.
Okay, how? So
Hassabis' company, DeepMind,
is owned by Google.
Right.
And while DeepMind is doing incredible work that could potentially save lives, Google seems to be pouring resources into generative AI, things like chatbots and image generators.
Yeah.
So you're saying that all those resources could be better allocated to push forward potentially life-saving advancements.
Yeah. Like DeepMind's AlphaFold.
Yes.
The program that can predict the structure of nearly every protein known to science.
It is, and understanding protein structure is fundamental to biology and medicine. This could lead to the development of new drugs, personalized medicine, and deeper understanding of diseases.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we're at this crossroads.
Where, one path leads to all these incredible advancements.
And the other leads to, hopefully not a sci-fi dystopia.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. And this tension is further highlighted by the open letter signed by Hinton Hassabis and hundreds of other experts calling for the recognition of AI's potential to cause human extinction as a global priority.
Okay, so you've got some pretty heavy hitters sounding the alarm here.
But is everybody on board with this?
Not exactly.
There are dissenting voices,
Okay.
even among Nobel laureates.
Daron Acemoglu, who won the Economics Prize, argues that this focus on existential threats might be distracting us from more immediate concerns.
Okay.
So he's saying instead of worrying about robots taking over the world...
We need to be more concerned about how AI is shaping our society now.
Exactly. He's worried about who benefits from these advancements and whether they will be shared by all.
He and his co-laureate Simon Johnson found that past technological revolutions often resulted in a small elite capturing most of the gains while the rest of society struggled to keep up.
So that's an interesting point.
And that's a lot to digest.
So we've got this mix of celebration and caution, hope and fear.
Where does that leave us?
What are your thoughts?
Host. Well, it's a complex landscape for sure.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest hope lies in AI's potential to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges.
Okay.
We're talking about diseases that currently have, cure,
Climate change, global poverty.
areas where AI could truly make a difference.
It's pretty exciting when you think about the possibility.
But then you have that nagging fear in the back of your mind that it could also make all those problems worse.
Or even create new problems that we haven't even thought about yet.
Right. That's the crux of it. A lot of these fears, I think, come down to a lack of control and uncertainty about where this technology is headed. Right.
If we aren't careful, AI could end up being used in ways that benefit a select few while leaving the rest of us behind, or worse, actively harming us.
So what can we do about it?
It all feels very overwhelming.
I understand that feeling.
It's easy to feel powerless when faced with such a transformative technology.
But I think the first step is awareness.
Okay.
We need to be having these conversations, educating ourselves about both the potential benefits and the risks of AI.
Mm-hmm.
The more we understand, the better equipped we'll be to advocate for responsible development and use.
Knowledge is power, right?
Right.
But beyond just being informed, are there any concrete actions we can take? Things that can actually make a difference?
The article lays out some key areas where we need to focus our efforts.
A crucial aspect is stronger oversight and accountability within the organizations that are developing AI. Think of it like establishing guardrails to make sure the technology is being steered in a safe and ethical direction.
Okay, guardrails, got it. So it's not just about letting these AI companies do whatever they want.
There need to be checks and balances in place.
What else?
Another critical area is the development of regulatory frameworks and international standards.
Okay.
Right now, the AI landscape is a bit like the Wild West.
With everyone rushing to innovate and stake their claim, which is not sustainable in the long run.
Right.
We need clear rules of the road to ensure that AI is developed and used ethically and safely.
That makes sense, especially when you think about the potential for AI-powered weapons systems.
And what about the impact on jobs?
A lot of people are worried about being replaced by machines.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid concern. And honestly, some level of job displacement is likely inevitable.
Right.
But that doesn't mean we're all doomed to a future of unemployment.
Oh.
It just means we need to be proactive about retraining and reskilling the workforce.
So investing in education and training programs that prepare people for the jobs of the future. Jobs that will exist alongside these AI.
And it's not just about technical skills.
We also need to focus on developing uniquely human skills. Critical thinking, creativity.
Empathy, communication, problem solving. Those are the skills that machines, at least for now, can't replicate.
Right, it seems like those skills are always going to be in demand.
No matter how advanced AI gets.
Right.
So it's about finding that balance.
Exactly. AI should be a tool to augment human capabilities, not to replace us entirely.
Which brings us back to the question of control.
How do we ensure that AI remains under human control?
That it doesn't become this autonomous force that we can no longer rein in.
That's the million-dollar question, and I don't think anybody has a definitive answer yet.
Right.
But it seems like we need to be thinking about AI ethics and governance from the very beginning.
You can't just build these systems and hope for the best.
You're absolutely right. We need to design these systems with safety, transparency, and accountability baked in. It's like building a house.
You need a strong foundation before you start adding all the fancy features.
Right.
And that foundation includes ethical guidelines for AI development.
Clear lines of responsibility.
Mechanisms for auditing and oversight.
I like that analogy. So it's about being thoughtful and intentional in our approach to AI.
And not just blindly racing towards some undefined future.
Exactly. And speaking of the future...
We talked about the potential for economic inequality.
Right.
And the risk of a small elite capturing most of the gains from AI.
Yeah. How do we prevent that?
It's a big concern, especially when you look at how past technological revolutions have unfolded.
How do we make sure AI benefits everyone?
Well, for starters, we need to make sure that AI development is happening in a way that's inclusive and equitable.
Okay.
That means diversifying the talent pool.
Ensuring that people from all backgrounds have access to the tools and resources they need to participate in this field.
Because if the people building AI are all from the same homogeneous group,
then that narrow perspective is going to be reflected in the technology.
Precisely. We need diverse perspectives, backgrounds, and experiences informing the development of AI.
Okay.
Otherwise, we risk creating systems that perpetuate existing biases and inequalities.
So diversifying the field, establishing ethical guidelines,
creating regulatory frameworks.
These are all important steps.
They are.
It's a tall order, but it sounds like there are concrete actions we can take to make sure AI benefits all of humanity.
There are. And that's what gives me hope.
Because at the end of the day, AI is a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for evil.
Yeah.
It's up to us as a society to decide which path we want to take.
It's a heavy responsibility, but I think we're up to the challenge.
It's exciting to think that we're living in a time where we have the power to shape the future of something as transformative as AI.
And speaking of which...
Remember how we were talking about DeepMind's AlphaFold?
Of course.
Such a compelling example of both the promise and the potential pitfalls of AI.
Right, you've got this incredible technology.
That could lead to breakthroughs in drug discovery and disease research.
Right.
But on the other hand, we have to make sure that those advancements are accessible to everyone.
Absolutely.
And not just limited to a privileged few.
Right.
That's a crucial point. It's not enough to just develop these technologies we have to make sure they're being used in a way that benefits all of humanity.
We need to be asking ourselves, who has access to these advancements, and how do we ensure equitable distribution of the benefits?
It's almost like we need a whole new Nobel Prize category.
Like the Nobel Prize for Equitable AI Development and Deployment.
I'd like that.
Imagine the kind of innovations we could inspire.
If there was a prize specifically focused on mitigating AI's risks and maximizing its benefits for everyone,
Yeah, that's an idea I can get behind.
it would definitely send a powerful message about the values we want to prioritize in this field.
But on a more practical level, what can we as individuals do to support that kind of progress?
Well, it can feel overwhelming to think about how to make a difference on such a large scale.
But, even small actions can contribute to a larger movement.
Exactly. Staying informed about the latest developments in AI and engaging in conversations like this one is a great place to start.
The more we talk about these issues.
The more likely we are to find solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And, we can also support organizations that are working to promote responsible AI development.
Okay.
There are so many groups out there doing incredible work on this front.
Don't underestimate the power of your voice either.
Contact your elected officials. Let them know that you care about these issues.
That you want them to prioritize responsible AI governance.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, this is about our collective future.
And we all have a stake in shaping it.
Yeah.
But I understand that all this talk about AI risks
Can be a bit anxiety-inducing.
It can be.
It's easy to get caught up in all the doom and gloom scenarios.
Right.
But what you said earlier about AI being a tool really resonated with me.
Ultimately, it's up to us how we use it.
Right. We have agency here. We're not passive bystanders in this story.
We have the power to shape the future of AI.
To ensure that it's a force for good in the world.
It's a good reminder that we're not just talking about abstract concepts here.
This is about real people's lives and the kind of world we want to live in.
That's a great point.
Which brings me to another question.
What's that?
If there was a Nobel Prize for mitigating AI's risks,
what groundbreaking solution would you nominate?
what would be the most impactful way to address these challenges?
And steer AI in a positive direction.
Wow, that's a tough one. But, I think the most groundbreaking solution wouldn't be some fancy new algorithm or technological fix.
Okay, so not a magic bullet.
Right. I think it would be a fundamental shift in our mindset.
Okay.
We need to move away from this idea of AI as a race.
This frantic push to create the
most intelligent system possible.
So instead of being obsessed with winning the AI race, we should be thinking about how to run it responsibly.
Exactly. We need to prioritize collaboration, transparency, and a deep understanding of the ethical implications of what we're creating.
It's about moving from a competitive mindset to a cooperative one.
Where the goal is to harness AI's power for the collective good.
That's a powerful vision. And it kind of connects back to what we were talking about earlier.
About the need for diverse perspectives in AI development.
If we want to create AI that truly serves humanity,
we need to make sure that all of humanity is represented in the process.
Couldn't agree more.
Right.
And that means not just diversifying the technical talent pool.
Right.
But also bringing in experts from other fields.
Okay.
Ethics, philosophy, social sciences.
Even the arts.
Because AI isn't just a technical challenge, it's a human one.
And we need all the wisdom and insight we can get to navigate it successfully.
That's a great point. And, that's what I find so inspiring about this whole conversation.
Yes, there are risks, and yes, there are challenges.
But there's also this incredible opportunity to shape the future in a way that benefits everyone.
Yeah.
We're not just passengers on this ride. We have the ability to steer the course.
Right. It's like we're standing at the dawn of a new era.
And we have this chance to write the rules for how this technology will be used.
Absolutely.
What an incredible...
And somewhat daunting responsibility.
And those rules need to be grounded in values like fairness, justice, and compassion.
If we can do that, if we can approach AI development with a sense of shared humanity and purpose.
I truly believe it has the potential to be one of the most transformative forces for good in human history.
Wow. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a lot more optimistic after this conversation.
This has been a truly eye-opening deep dive into the world of AI and the 2024 Nobel Prizes.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been a pleasure, and remember,
This conversation doesn't end here.
keep learning, keep asking questions.
And keep engaging with these issues.
The future of AI is in all of our hands.
And on that note, we'd like to extend a huge thank you to Bhaskar Chakravorti,
Dean of Global Business at Tufts University's Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy.
for his insightful article in Foreign Policy. It definitely gave us a lot to think about.
And of course, a big thank you to all of you for listening to Revise and Resubmit.
We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to learn more about the fascinating world of AI.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the topics that matter.
And as always, we love hearing from you, so if there's a topic you'd like us to explore,
Or if you just want to share your thoughts on this episode, drop us a line in the comments.
until next time, keep revising and resubmitting.